All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 6 of this podcast. I am your host. ItsyBitsy 30. It is a beautiful day today, and we have a beautiful guest on the show with us. I'm just going to do a quick mic check here. Perfect. We got video. We got audio. Welcome. I know it's been a while. I am sorry for the long break, the long pause in the content in the podcast world, but life's been crazy. Life's been hectic. The good kind of hectic, living life and just kind of grind time, and you go chase after the things that I needed to for a while, but I'm hoping to get back to a normal podcast schedule bi-weekly, as I would love to get back to. But all that put aside, I would love to introduce our podcast guest with us today, a very dear friend of mine, one of my personally best friends, and just overall intelligent human being. I love this man. All right. I would love to introduce to you Dead Hazard, and I'm going to let him do a little short intro about himself, who he is, what he does, how he's connected to the gaming sense and realm. You know how we do things. But with nothing further to say, Dead Hazard has the stage.
Well, Bitsy, thank you so much for allowing me to come on and be a part of this awesome podcast. I think this is really starting to pick up some momentum, and really cool to see you branching out into the podcasting space. So thank you very much for allowing me to be on today.
Absolutely.
I am just slightly a little bit of a gamer. I mainly got started back as a kid. I remember my mom giving me a choice for Christmas if I wanted a Sega Genesis or a Nintendo 64, and I went for the Sega because it had Sonic the Hedgehog on it. So that's the early roots right there, I think, was the competitive racing against the clock. And from there, we discovered like GoldenEye 64 and stuff like that. Started playing some Donkey Kong 64. And to this day, first-person shooters have mainly been the jam. Played a lot of different Call of Duty and Fortnite OG. We were getting down on that, so that was fun to go back down that rabbit hole when we were first getting started in this industry.
Absolutely.
And a couple trips to Vegas that we've done, to the Luxor to go see the esports arena inside there.
Super
It's got
fun.
a lot of good
Super
memories
fun.
in there. Currently my main jam, I was on Destiny 2 for quite some time, but they've kind of had a content drought and laid off quite a few of their main people after being bought out by Sony. So it was funny, they bought the Bungie studios for some astronomical billions of dollars, right? And now they've just laid off everybody, so it's not looking good for the final expansion of the game. After 8 years, they're gonna kill it off. So instead, what I've been doing is I've been getting down on League of Legends, and if any of your audience knows anything about League of Legends, it's very competitive and very sweaty. But I've taken the competitive and the sweatiness of League of Legends and taken it into their casual gaming mode, which is called ARAM. Stands for all random, all middle. So it rotates through all 165 champions in the game, and using a 5v5 system with only one lane, you fight each other across what they call the murder bridge, affectionately. And on that murder bridge, I currently am sitting at 94,000 takedowns on that game mode. Making me in the top 5,000 challenger players in North America for that. And then I've also gotten the DPS threat. I'm very close to breaking sub 10k, so being in the top 10,000 of that, dealing more than 1,800 damage per minute for almost 600 games. I'm at 592 games where I've dealt 1,800 damage per minute in that.
That is absolutely crazy.
I'm 66 people away from being in the top 5K for games of ARAM 1. So I've won 1,441 games of ARM, which is getting very close to a 50-50 win rate. So it doesn't matter what team I'm on, if I'm playing with friends or
Wow.
whatever, I'm almost a 50% win rate, which is pretty good odds considering
Yeah.
you're dealing with 10 random characters from a draw pool of 165. So I've really
Wow.
enjoyed the like League of Legends, right? It's four
Yeah.
buttons, right? Every
Yeah.
character has four buttons that you press, but it's the finesse. How do you choose to engage? Who do you prioritize first? And so that's
Wow.
the competitive draw of that, of learning every one of the champions and then being able to put it in that random scenario where you're up against different people every time has been really quite appealing. So
That's incredible. That's
yeah,
incredible.
it's been a fun time. So
Woo.
that's the competitive streak when I'm not getting down on the OG Fortnite with you. I'm not gonna lie, I hopped on last night because I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, those couple games I got with
Uh-huh.
Bitsy, that was pretty good. I want to
That was
see what it's
super
like.
fun.
I dropped into the solo lobby, bro. I was getting clapped so fast. It was ridiculous. But
Oh, those are good times too. I was
it is,
thinking,
but I was enjoying it a lot more when I was getting clapped with you because at least I
yeah,
had a partner in misery
at
on the
least
field.
yeah, yeah, absolute facts. A little bit of backup never helps,
Oh,
or
absolutely.
always helps, never helps, always
Um,
helps.
well, depends. How many plunger grenades do I got in my pocket? 'Cause-
Only 20. It's fine. It's great.
So,
Um,
Bitsy, thank you so much for letting me
of
intro
course.
out and be a part of podcast
Mm,
today. Love your
absolutely.
community. Love what you've been doing in your streaming career, and
Mm-hmm.
super excited to get into the meat of this podcast with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is going to be an amazing time. A lot of the community members know who you are. Through the, like you said, the TikToks that we've made going back a couple years ago, and like throughout the span of time. So I'm pretty
I
sure you've
still,
been within the first year of gaming streaming with me. Actually, is
Mhm.
when I met you. I mean, we're talking like 2-3 apartments ago, like probably a good 6 7 no 7 years
it's
ago. Yeah,
it's
something like
been
that.
that long
And
already, man.
my
Holy
God,
cow!
what a journey! What a journey. So here we go. I wanted Dead Hazard to be on this today's episode because we started brainstorming and started chatting, and a few topics just automatically started arranging themselves. And I was like, I think we have some talking to do here. And would you like to be on the podcast? And he's like, well, it'll be my pleasure. So we started taking notes right away as we were talking because it was just so organic. So
We like to warm up a little bit, and to be
yeah,
fair, I had been up for a couple hours before
that's
Bitsy,
facts.
so when we
Oh,
started getting into
always.
it, I was like, we got to get some time for the coffee to set in.
Always.
That's
Yeah.
why I don't know if you see how merched up I am
Yeah.
today. I got to be a brand ambassador if I've
Uh,
known you for that
yeah,
long. You
literally,
got me.
literally.
You guys can't see it, but I got the gigantic
I
mouse
was gonna
pad on
say
my
he's
desk
so much of
too.
a fan. He's so much of a fan. He has my desk mat as a or a mouse pad as his desk mat.
It's been the
So,
best
oh
keyboard
my god,
mouse pad that I've had ever to
it's
date,
been the
but
best coffee snatcher. All right.
no, bro, there's like blood stains and coffee stains. It's like, oh man, this thing had seen
Woo!
war.
I
But you're
love
right,
that. I
man. It
love
was
that.
like we sat down, we started talking, and before you
Yeah.
know it, we're like, oh, we're 25 points deep. This is a
Oh,
whole podcast
100%.
episode. We better get
100%.
into it.
Yep. Yeah. No,
And
the
because of our history together, not only as
mhm.
friendship and stuff, it's kind of given us this groundwork where I can come in, and we've done a couple things over the years where I've actually done coaching sessions with you, which has been a lot of fun because
Yeah.
anytime we do
Yep.
that, we never want the conversation to end. We're always so jazzed that we're like, oh, we
Mhm.
can keep going. And I'm like, yeah, we can,
The
but
inspiration is always so thick. Like I think that's gonna be like the main point kind of theme of the episode, but also like the past 7 years that we've known each other is like we always aim to inspire each other, and that is like number one thing because we never want to like get off the call because once we get going we never stop.
you want
uh
friends that
I
encourage you and build you up and make you want to
absolutely.
keep chasing after it, which was awesome because you've built that into your Twitch community too,
Mm-hmm.
and all
Absolutely.
the platforms that you're on. I know we were talking about your like TikToks and the
Mm.
community you're building
Yeah.
there, and
Yep.
I told Bitsy yesterday, guys, I was like, man, it's just a matter of time before the world finds out about Itsy Bitsy 30, and then he's gonna be off to the races, taking on the world.
That's
And
right.
I'm so glad to be a part of it with you guys on this journey. And
Mm-hmm.
what we had in mind for this episode today is kind
Mm-hmm.
of do a kind of Bitsy in a nutshell. Like, it's always good to get a reflection of what's
Yep.
been going on in the last couple months and do a checkup from the neck up and
Mm-hmm.
see, hey, how can we do better moving forward? So for starting this out, Bitsy, I
Yeah.
gave you the prompt yesterday, so
You
hopefully you've
did.
had a little time to mull it over. But we're gonna do an exercise called a rose, a bud, and a thorn, right? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a rose is the positive aspect, something that you've really enjoyed either in your personal life or building your community or what's been going on. What's been like the main positive overall effect that's kind of been having its play in your life over the last couple months?
Yeah. Um, I mean, the past couple months have been so drastically different than how I started streaming. In the beginning, the first couple years, because I went full time for the first like six years of streaming. And I don't know if it's like I could probably narrow down a few points of the past couple months that stand out. Overarchingly, though, in the past like couple years, it's been genuinely like truly seeing my community mature and grow like in their IRL lives. Right. And it kind of hit me a couple days ago. There was an announcement in one of the community members, and he was about to have a, not just about to, but they found out that they were pregnant. And I was like super ecstatic because I was like, so and so, I have known you for years and years. And I've just seen your life progress through your career, your schooling, getting married, now starting a family, like all this stuff. And that is just, that warmed my heart to the next level. Because it's the living, it's the living life with my community members. These people would never have been my friends, would never have been, much less my community members, if I hadn't started streaming. And that kind of really sunk in the other day. And especially recently, it's just the community's been so, how should I, just like generous. It's been,
Hmm.
they've been so giving of
Insane.
their, yeah, they've really quite been insane. They've been extremely just giving of their time. Like everyone puts me up on lurk, they're watching, they're chatting, right? They're making sure they're engaged in some way. And then they're asking questions of when my next content is going to release, which is why this episode is important, because we're going to go through the roadmap there. But they've also
Yeah.
been very financially supportive, and like just wish list things coming into fruition. Have just
Bro,
been,
half my Twitter feed is your
yeah.
wish list giving donations to him, which is awesome. I love to see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I mean, it's just been blowing my mind. And that this has been some of even though there's been so much change, it's been some of the best moments of my streaming career. I thought it was going to be, oh, everyone's going to fall off. I'm going to fall off of streaming, content making. Time. You take a break for a certain amount of time, and it'll kind of slow down and kind of dissipate over time. And
The
I've
OGs
I've
are always there,
yeah,
man. They're
dropped
always
down to
watching.
part-time streaming, and my God, it's still going, like pretty strong, might I add. And those have been highlights. Really
Awesome.
enjoying the life with my community, that they're living, that I'm living, keeping in touch, and really experiencing what like feeling what they're going through. And I love it.
And from being on the community side, being in the chat room and
Mm-hmm.
stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things I appreciate the most is how engaged and how active you are with communicating
Yeah.
with your community and being involved in their daily lives. Like get messages from you and you're like, "Hey, we're out on a Sunday drive. We're just thinking about you." And I
Uh-huh.
love that personal touch, man. That's
Yep.
always been something that I've really appreciated about what you bring to
Mm.
the platform.
Thank you.
Um, so great job, man. That was a great
Yeah.
rose,
Yeah. Thank
like,
you.
and every day you're like, oh, let's see what else is gonna
Oh,
make my day
100%.
rosy in
100%.
here.
Yes,
All right,
Rosie. That's
so
exactly, you stole the words out of my mouth. How do I Rosie? I'm going to use that from now on. I'm going to text you.
So let's move on from the rose and let's
Uh-huh.
talk about the bud. Now, the bud, a part of the flower here, is the new growth, the new
Mm.
opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
the things that you're getting excited to wake up in the morning to go chase after and pursue that next goal. So, what is a bud? What's something that's kind of been uh, maybe like the cart leading the horse a little bit? It's been
Mm.
like creating a vacuum to pull you along in your growth.
Mm. Oh boy. So a lot of factors go into this one. One, I mean, as far as new growth and that new growth mentality, is showing up every day. I know that
Hmm.
the scheduled days that I go live. So, which is 3-4 days a week. I know that it all starts there. There's going to be no growth unless I show up and actually apply, my efforts. So that's the starting point. And then carrying me through the weeks and the months of what I do. I would say collaborating with other creators. So most people in the community know known as Lion. He and I both have been collaborating a lot on just making new content as new content comes out. So
Cool.
whether that's with old games, that's with new games such as MW3. We actually optimized a an older Ghost Recon game, and we're really excited to put content
Doing a
in.
little series on that, huh?
Yep,
All right.
yep, absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah. And so it's just collaborating with other like-minded individuals who are really driven, and wanting to have the same drive as you to wake up on a day-to-day, wake up on a week-to-week basis and just really apply yourself and show up and go. And like sometimes the opportunity doesn't like slap you in the face. You have to actually go and chase it. Like I said, we had to go chase like an older game to make content from, because that's where we saw our passion being drawn to, right? So that's been really neat. And then on another flip side aspect is just watching content creators that actually inspire me, to push my mentality, because
Mm.
sometimes I wake up and I really don't feel like doing anything. So if it's like
And then you see
my day
somebody
off.
else making something, huh? And you're
Exactly,
like, oh, come
exactly,
on.
exactly. So, on the one of my like forefront kind of rituals, if you want to say, of how I start my day is I'll boot up the PCs. I'll have okay, my here's the plug. My favorite streamer, Summit1G, I'll pop him up. He's most likely streaming, and it just gives me such a like breath of fresh air to be, you know what? This is my goal. This is what I strive for. This, to just have that um larger community, larger connections, and just to inspire people on, not on the tens or hundreds, but on the thousands level, right? And that's something, a dream that we've talked about for years. So
We're
that's
speaking it
definitely,
into existence, buddy.
exactly, exactly. So that's definitely been, I don't know, a few points, a few different aspects and
Excellent.
avenues on how I do that. Yeah,
I would say, as a member of the community, I love it when you are able to collab with people and all the like.
yeah.
Even though sometimes, I've seen the Fortnite lobbies. I know how toxic it gets.
Oh,
Everyone's
ooh,
ragging on Bitsy.
oh,
And everyone kind of makes a game of it. But
absolutely.
I love that most of the time they keep it fairly positive. We keep a
Mm-hmm.
positive spin always
Mm-hmm.
going. And
Resilience. Yeah.
that's the personal commitment that you put to your community
Right.
every day is you
Right.
wake up with that inspiration, and
Yep.
then whenever something's negative, you turn it around and try and throw a
Mm-hmm.
positive spin on it. And
Absolutely.
that's
Have to.
like a moth to a flame, man. Everyone wants to gather around to see what your bonfire is burning about today. So
Yeah.
uh love
Yeah.
that. So the last part of
Mm-hmm.
this whole analogy here
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
thorn, man. Like everybody's messed with a rose before that you've gotten hit by that thorn.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it could just be like a little, stab, something that's like, oh man, now I can't, touch that with my finger anymore. Sometimes it goes right into your side, man, like
That's
kidney
right.
shot.
That's
And
right. Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure where you're at as far as the uncomfortable level with the thorn, but like we'll briefly touch on it because I
Yeah.
know already that you're not a super negative guy, but what is something that's kind of been a thorn for you in the last couple months?
Oof. Well, I mean,
Could be personal life, could
I was
be, it could
I was
be
gonna say, as
anything
far
if you
as
want to talk about
I
it.
yeah, as far as like content creation wise, I a lot of times this is gonna sound like just silly, but is just keeping up with the social media aspect of things. Sometimes it is just not the mental space that I want to be in.
That's fair.
And I feel like social media is just one of those funny things that it could be really good and great to keep in touch and inform and all that stuff. And a lot of times there's so much negativity and there's so much going around in the interwebs and news and, everything that it is just like, it's heavy,
It
and
can turn into a bit of a bottomless pit
it
pretty quickly,
really,
can't
it really
it?
can. It really can. I've been there, and that changes my whole personality. And I have to get
Mhm.
out of the funk, and I have to change that mindset. So that's kind of like maybe on a day to day struggle is just like, okay, I'm gonna limit
Yeah.
my time on social media. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm
Right.
gonna upload. And that's kind of been a struggle recently. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, we're getting better. Um,
Absolutely.
and it's just limiting the time and intake of that negative like energy that I see online. Sometimes I partake in that, and that's not great because that brings me down even more. But
Well,
hey,
the problem is we're like all human,
I
so
know,
every once in a while you see some like cat fight getting started or like
right,
just some
right.
drama and you're like, "Oh, I want to
And you
go see
feel
what
that
that's
little
all about."
tingle, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? You feel that little tingle, and you're like, "Oh, I
Absolutely.
want in on this," and you
But
get,
then
but
how quickly can you pattern interrupt and say, "That's
mm,
not my calling.
that's
That's
right,
not what I'm
that's
supposed
right,
to be a part about. I'm supposed to
yeah,
be a force for good, not a force
and
for
that's
the drama."
exactly, and that's the difference between the short viewedness. That I don't know if that's a word. I just made it a word,
Oh,
but the
absolutely.
short term view of things,
Short-sightedness?
short sightedness. Thank you, and
Yeah.
and you got to pull yourself back and have the bigger picture in mind, to have the bigger goals, and stuff. I would probably say, some of the more recent things have probably just been having some relationships and friendships like move away and kind of deteriorate, which has been rough and a process to get through, mentally and emotionally. But I mean, when that when those thought patterns come, I normally tend to rely heavily more on my community when I am live, because I'm like, look who is here, look who
Yeah.
has showed up, look who are my friends,
Be
but
there
I'm
for those that are there for you. Yeah.
yep, yep, absolutely. Um, so I don't know. I don't want to dwell on that too much.
Yeah. No, I
But
thought that was a
but
great
hey,
way to
yeah,
cover the thorn, man. Like, because
yeah,
we all deal with them. I think that's what
mm-hmm,
makes the human condition so relatable. Is like
mm-hmm,
somebody on this stream is probably dealing with some of those exact same things.
yeah,
Like, I think in the modern age, we all deal with the social media distraction to the
absolutely,
point where it's probably hindering our progress forward.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
that's why I wanted to do this like checkup from the neck up, man. Is make sure this
Oh yeah,
community is thick and
100%.
healthy, that the streamer and the content creation, we've got a game plan for the future and where we're taking everything.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you did a great job showing how beautiful this production and this growth of what you're
Mm.
building in this community is going to do. So, not to BS you or,
You're
anything
right,
like that.
right, yeah.
But to be fair, BS does make good fertilizer for a rose garden.
Oh my God, how do you think of these things?
Well,
I
the
love it. I love
business
it.
comes to me.
Yeah, I love it.
Um,
Um,
oh,
yeah, I think with all of that being said, especially the bud, when we were talking about that topic, the whole what are things new growth and mindset and the
mhm.
things that you've seen or wanting to see, um that's going to be a big topic moving forward. I think I'd like to keep it in the forefront of my mentality and kind of announcements area, theoretically, like in front of my community, because I never want to get stale, and I want to always inspire and kind of, communicate with my online community where I'm going and what I want to be doing. And because I sometimes I think I just maybe don't communicate properly, and things get stagnant. Like, oh, Bitsy just booted up COD again, or oh, he's playing another game, right? But I kind of want to see them a little, or let them see a little bit farther than that, and things to look forward to and such.
Kind of
So
like a roadmap, right?
yeah, exactly. And so like plans in the future. What am I thinking? What are things that I'd like to do or like to set up? So I
Wait,
know
is
that
there a place where you communicate all these details all in one neat, organized space for your community?
there sure is. I'm glad
Is
you
it
said that.
possibly Discord by chance?
I think it might be. Ladies
Ladies
and
and gentlemen,
gentlemen,
if you haven't already, join the crawlers in the Itsy Bitsy
that's right.
Discord.
Discord. I just dropped the link in the chat there.
Bro, that's
Oh my
perfect
god.
timing. I love it. And what I
um
love particularly about your Discord is you have
mhm.
so many different segments where people can plug
Oof.
in, drop
Yeah.
topics,
Yeah.
keep up to date. And then the cool thing is you got so many different lobbies in there. Like
Mhm.
if you're a solo player and you're looking to just group up
Oh,
with some
absolutely.
other like-minded individuals, you've got
Mhm.
EFT lobbies, you've
I
got
made sure of that.
Call of Duty, Fortnite, like it's all in there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you're always going to find somebody that's willing to help you out if you're stuck on something in here.
Oh,
Like, if it
absolutely.
can't be done on stream, like drop
Mhm.
a message in the Discord and somebody's going to be able to help you
Oh
progress
yeah.
along if that's
Oh
what you're
yeah.
chugging after.
No, that happens every couple of weeks. Someone gets stuck, or something goes wrong with a PC or stream, or just game in general, or
You
oh,
get
this
tapped
one.
out in Tarkov before you can
Oh,
extract with the
and
briefcase.
and let's face it, you got an hour before you reconnect with your friends, so might as well do something else that troubleshoots, right?
There you
Any,
go.
not me being bitter towards Escape from Tarkov, ladies and gentlemen. I do like Escape from Tarkov. I just am waiting for bigger and better things happening in December. So hopefully,
That's right. Wipe is coming, right?
that's right, that's right, and a whole bunch of features, But going back to the what I plan for the future. So one of the things that
What's up?
I
The
discussed,
announcements? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
the announcements, and sort of deal is next year. I know I've been saying this for the past couple of years, but next year, I know for a fact that Lion and I will be like making it our number one priority to make it to TwitchCon. Okay. I don't think we're going to be switching or I don't foresee us switching platforms like we did with the Green app or anything like that.
The app that
Anytime
must
soon.
not be named.
Must not be named, otherwise we can't name it because TOS. I don't, but TwitchCon next year. I don't know where it's going to be held, but I really, really have the sense and feeling that it is going to be pertinent that we go and network, because pretty much every single conversation with every single person at TwitchCon that I don't know is going to be a potential connection, right? I mean, or a friend, or like fellow streamer, I don't know. I've never been to such a huge event before like that. So I don't know how many podcasters I'm going to meet. I don't know how many streamers I'm going to meet. And then it's just going to be an overall like superb, exciting experience to see a lot of the bigger streamers attend. I think this past year, Summit 1G went, and I just couldn't believe it because I missed him, and I was very distraught. All right. But yeah, it's going to be a
Not
commit.
again. It will
Yeah, that's
happen on
right.
my watch.
It will not be this day.
Oh,
So I'm going to be saving up, making a goal, and actually achieving that goal, because I want to be having that steady mindset to actually attain what I set out to do. And so I'm just going to be steadily saving up for TwitchCon next year. And whoever comes with is going to be incredible, but that is going to be a huge deal. I think for growth, networking, all that stuff. So that's going to be priority kind of number one or topic number one. Apart from that, I was also. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Real quick
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you
Go
roll
for
into
it.
the next one,
No,
I was
go for it.
thinking that handy Discord that you mentioned, I think down in the crawler cavern, maybe we should add a TwitchCon 2024 where people can coordinate and maybe
I
do
love
some room
that.
sharing or stuff like that and let people know, hey, this is where we plan on being. And then when you're at the convention, if anyone wants to do a meetup down on the floor, you can find out where everybody's at through the Discord. That way you're not having to text each other back and forth. Everybody just knows right where they're at
Oh,
right there from.
absolutely. I love that. I love that. And that will be added 100%.
Sweet.
This is why I love talking to Hazard. Because I would have never thought about anything like that. I need the little details that sporadically pop 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 pop.
And then what'll be cool is, after you get done with the event, you can upload your photos, group photos,
Yes.
anything like that, and
Yes.
then you've got a spot for them to all display for everyone in the community to come
Yep.
check it out.
I love it. I love it. That will be happening. All right, 100%. Apart from that, I know that a few years ago we tried to do a kind of like a meet and greet. Well, for lack of creativity, BitsyCon. All right. But we tried to organize a like kind of, I want to say content house, but that's not the right. It's not like a creator house. It's just like people from the community for a meet and greet. I think it had about like 15 people. Whoever wanted to make it, whoever wanted to do a meet and greet over the summer or something like that. And we found that, Colorado was pretty central to where everyone was and all that. So that I would really like to organize again. Like over the summer would be absolutely fantastic. I know that I started getting really excited because we found some like an incredible like kind of mini mansion in the mountains, and it could easily sleep 12 people, but it was so open that a couple sleeping bags on the floor or blow up mattresses, just like this fun two-nighter 2 overnight sort of deal, where hot tub and fire pits and ATVs and like all this sort of stuff, activities and stuff. So
Dude, even if it's not as grandiose as that, just getting
right,
together in
yeah.
real life to see everybody
Yeah,
would be
and just
awesome.
sharing stories around a fire or just gaming, because that particular house
Oh,
had a
man.
whole like projector that you could just like plug in HDMI to a console or whatever, right? Have a movie night,
We're bringing back the LAN party.
you literally, and I mean, we had Seizure Dad that was like, I'll bring my PS5, and I had Troll City, I'll bring my console too, and it was going to be a LAN party, like 100%.
That's awesome.
And it was going to be a great time. So I would love to kind of rekindle that fire and keep that in the back of my head as well, of what would it look like and how would that experience come about. So that's something to potentially look forward to within the community. I know that we had a pretty good result from when we were trying to do a little poll of like who's interested in what, and would you guys come out, and we sent little official invitations out to some people and be like, hey, would love to, we're putting this together. I want to make sure that you're aware of it. Would you like to come out and hang out? And some people said yes, some people said they couldn't. But just the idea of that, kind of crawler retreat, if it were. So yeah, that's
Hysterica.
right.
Flies on the chat.
I just saw that.
And man, the summer, what a great time to like just go
Well,
and hang out.
it's
Like
the best time.
if,
Yeah.
if someone's got a boat, let us know. We'll make sure the cabin's
Oh,
by the lake so we can go skiing. Like, come on, go fishing. Let's do this.
are we gonna go skiing in the summertime, Hazard?
Water skiing.
Ooh, water skiing. I didn't think about that.
Towboat, bro. Yeah,
Oh, my.
do the little roundy round out on the lake.
I do like that. All right.
The inner tubes can be dangerous, man.
Oh,
You
they
start
can be
going-
100%. I I did that once, and my God, I don't think I've ever hit water at such speeds or
Dude, that stuff's like
got
concrete.
Oh, 100%. And when you're skidding on top of it before you actually sink into the water, that's an interesting experience. Almost, yeah. Anyway, that's a story for later time.
So guys, look for that. Like, there's a lot of gears in the works now, but be
Mhm.
checking the Discord. We'll look at maybe putting something together for a crawler retreat
Yeah,
for
yeah.
summer of next year. So,
Hmm, hmm.
if you're just coming in, that's what we're talking about. Is like, let's get a plan for this community going forward,
Hmm,
and
hmm.
something that we can all look forward to, and
Yeah.
hopefully all be able to make it to, which would be
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
what else you got in the works, Bitsy? Is there any other announcements?
Mm. Um. Any other announcements as far as this is gonna sound weird after I just said we're gonna be going to TwitchCon and we're staying on Twitch. As a creator and being involved in other creators' lives and other people's communities, our job it isn't really kind of finished ever, right? And so we just look for new opportunities all the time, right? Whether that's on the interwebs, on the apps, social medias, all that stuff. One thing caught our attention on social media. We were scrolling through X, and I saw that something was picking up a lot of traction. It's another platform, okay, and it kind of seems to be really picking up momentum. The name of the platform is called LiveSpace. They seem to be doing a lot of things right. And that's from the tabs, the community, like the community tabs, the about me, the live links, the merch shop being right off the bat. Like, they're, don't get me wrong, they're small, like, live streaming platform. I believe they've somehow
All
collaborated
with the
with,
backing of X.
yeah, with the backing of X, right? So I think that they're like, oh, join the thousands, right? And so I have a feeling it's just a couple thousand of streamers on the platform, so it's not huge, right? And it's not
Mhm.
even, definitely not as large as the Green app. However,
Yet.
yeah. I started doing some digging. I follow them on X, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, they're just keep updating. It seems like pretty much every day, all these new features that right from the bat, like from the start, you as a creator, if you start streaming on that platform, will have right off the rip that, I was astounded. Like, features that I expect from here on Twitch that I'm like, this is a starting platform and they already have all these features. The one thing they don't have yet is a mobile app. But anyway, I started
Oh, that's
looking.
that's coming pretty quick though.
That
They're
is,
getting a
yeah.
lot of requests for it.
They are, as is, our day and age, right? If it's not a mobile app, like, who are you? But I think they know that, and on their roadmap, they're saying that they're definitely working on a mobile app and everything. So, it's called LiveSpace. I've already created an account, a profile, what have you. I have not added it into my link tree, as I'd like to flesh it out a little bit more as far as the
If
about
anything,
me.
just to reserve the username and keep
Correct.
that.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. So, looks really promising. It looks very clean, very well put together. There's merch store already. There's ban unban, timeout features. Like, there's just a lot involved for, like, right off the rip, like I said, when you start, all the kind of essential backbone pieces to what me as a creator look for
And their
as
sub
being an
split was
admin.
pretty good.
Their
Like
sub split, I believe, was
85
85.
to create, yeah, to the
Yeah.
creator and 15 to
Yeah,
the company.
85.
So
So, and that's
not bad.
amazing to see. That's higher than YouTube's 75. That's not as high as the Green app, which is 10% lower, or the Green app is 10% higher, depending on how you phrase that. But it's really, and it's higher than Twitch. So, I mean,
Yeah, we'll see.
we will
That's
see. We will see.
that's
So,
that's the thing about like getting a plan for the future is you always want to have a couple extra baskets just in case your
absolutely.
eggs are starting to get lonely in one basket.
Yes, 100%. And I can't help but look at these opportunities as they present themselves, and I don't want to grow complacent in where I'm at definitely grateful for where I'm at. However, I always want to be looking at what's on the horizon, who's doing a good job at what they're trying to do, right? So they're trying to start a live streaming platform. Are they doing it well? How are they doing it? What features are they adding? How are they including the creator? How are they involving the community? And it seems like they take feedback very, very well. I have not seen any like random little attitudes like, yeah, well, we're the developers and you guys don't know what you're talking about, but give us feedback.
Right.
There's been a lot of that going around as well. So, just wanted to announce
Awesome.
that, if one day I'm like, hey guys, follow me on this platform, because I want to,
Not to say that he's neglecting Twitch,
no,
at all,
just as a
but
secondary
like,
kind of
yeah.
dual streaming thing, just kind of how I was doing the multi stream. I might, it turns out that I might do multi stream with said platform. So that's the only reason why I mention it, bring it up, and it looks impressive for the time being. So
Yeah.
that's the
Miss
announcements.
Erica's got it right there. That's a like poignant conversation right there. Any business has to monitor the market.
Absolutely.
That's right. You got to go where the ball is headed, not where it used to be. So,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And that's this community has always been about where are we going? Where are we
Yeah.
headed?
Yep.
It's
Actually, that's
awesome,
very
man.
true. Very true. Yeah, that's let's see. Um Oh, you know what? The one of the other bigger announcements that I would love to bring to the table here. I didn't think we had this many announcements when we talked, Hazard, but this is
I
this is
know
great.
it.
This is great. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but this is something that has been talked about with a few individuals of community members and something that's definitely popular in the streaming world. I just haven't really gone onto the wagon yet. And that is how should I say, like Bitsy coaching sessions sessions, and
What do
I
you mean? Itsy Bitsy's gonna get into the consulting game?
I don't think so. Here's the deal, Bob. I don't know, why do I always want to talk like that? Anyway,
Look under your chair.
yeah.
It's a brand new toaster.
Oh my god. This is classic Bitsy Hazard interaction here. Yeah. So Bitsy, what did I say? Consulting? No, you had me on consulting. Uh,
Coaching? Did you say
coaching, yeah.
Yeah.
So the essence of the idea here is I would set up a maybe a website, maybe just a link that you could click on in the about me tabs, information
Or
panels.
maybe in the Discord. There's a
Yeah, no, I'll
place you
definitely
could.
add it in the Discord as well. So like at multiple different areas. And it's going to be, I have 7 years experience of being a full-time streamer. I have started, I have helped hundreds of people start their streams, optimizing their OBS, coaching them on how to even like kind of talk to an audience. And a lot of people don't know, well, how I have 0 viewers. Like, how am I supposed to, attract even 3? How do I make my 3, average viewers? And I've talked to them like you're talking, narrate like you're talking to hundreds of people, right?
Hmm.
And just narrate what you do, what you're going through, all that stuff. So I've started helping on that front, as far as like PC building, PC optimizations, different peripherals to get that are budget friendly for webcams, mice, keyboard, mouse pad sort of thing. If you're a PC gamer, or going through the specs of a console to be like, oh, this is the newest one, this is the version behind. This will, like, I started on a console, so if you're at that starting level of can I stream to Twitch through a console? The answer is yes. That's definitely doable. So there's so much involved, and here's the thing: for an hourly rate, I'll put up a like an hourly rate on the site or what have you. I'll have to set something up, and then people will have an hour and a half of my time, just a one-on-one like Discord call, and I will walk them through, like, I'm theirs for that time slot, right? They could ask me anything, we could talk about anything, and we'll get them started on their content creating journey. So I've
And
been
guys, that is a spectacular deal because this man has the patience of a saint. There's no question that you could ask that he's going to be like, "Oh, come on, no, no." Like
right.
Bitsy is
Yeah.
incredibly detailed, so if he can't get it right, like which is almost an impossibility, like he will find the answer to fit the solution that you're looking for. So, he is probably one of the most persistent individuals I've met too.
I am, and I'll do follow up as well. After we set things up and all that stuff, I will, pull up that stream, make sure that it's running, that the quality is good, and that's the thing is, I mean, one of the biggest things that I strive for is quality here on stream. So anyone that has spent time in my community knows that I've taken the upteenth, time and length of time to make sure that everything is set up correctly, everything looks aesthetically pleasing, as well as the practical functionality aspect of things. Dual PC streaming is on point all the time, and it works well, and it doesn't give me issues from day to day. And that quality aspect is one of the biggest things that I'm about. But that also comes with growth, as this didn't happen overnight. The things that I've built and created do not happen overnight. But there's so much involved to streaming as far as like design and, just looking for, design kits of what your brand should or you want it to look like, what it should look like, asking me questions, because I have a couple years experience in going to graphic design school, so I know what a good logo is. I know what that also entails. So there's so much involved, like I keep saying, but woo!
Ozzy says, just don't try and coach anyone in Tarkov.
No, absolutely not. I am a retired Tarkov streamer. That is me. Until December, I'll see the movement.
So if you've got anything from a console gamer with
Yeah.
a cap card
Yeah.
all the way
Yep.
up to streaming in front of dozens of people,
Yes.
this man has almost a decade's worth of experience with graphics design and going from being a console gamer all the way up to a dual stream, multi platform, multi stream, 1080p, 175,000 frames per second individual.
My brain is melting.
If I could, I'd take my hat off right now, stand in front of the fan, and say he upgraded to the glorious PC gaming master race.
Oh, I actually did though. Okay.
Not to judge it. That's the other thing. Bitsy will not judge during this entire consultation.
No,
period,
absolutely
right?
not.
So,
Absolutely not.
no judgment. Afterwards, all rights are reserved, though, so he can do whatever and say whatever in Discord about your wonky setups.
All right, Hazard, start posting the pics.
Like I was gonna say, the setup pics, like that's a great place to look in Discord too. You guys
absolutely.
have all, like, I don't see anybody slouching in there. So like Planet Fitness with a no judgment zone. Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah, no judgment zone, because I always keep in mind, in the forefront of my mind, that whatever happens with stream now is because of years of work, and I've been there once, right? I don't forget where I started, and I am extremely grateful for where I'm at.
Lots of charity from this streaming community too. Like they've helped you get a lot of different pieces of equipment to enhance the stream.
Absolutely.
We're just super thankful to everybody that's contributed to all those things, man. We couldn't
100%.
be here doing this without y'all.
Nope, sure couldn't. Absolutely not. So I think those are the past, like, kind of like the last three announcements. TwitchCon, the Crawler House, let's call it, and then the Bitsy consultations, so kind of one-on-ones, training courses. Ooh, that's good. I call them training courses.
I like that.
And so that's kind of the bigger, things that I've been thinking about starting, and I believe I definitely will be. That's going to be on the roadmap on the stream and the channel to push forward, to make myself available in other multiple outputs, so that the streaming or my community and as we expand can expect to like actually see these results and things come into fruition, and feel a lot more engagement from me, from one another, as we create like just a larger and larger community, really. And on the technical side of things, I mean, we have so many people that are really good at specs and specking out, all the electronic stuff and all the PC stuff. And we have so many gurus in the Discord that you could, definitely reach out and be like, hey, who can I need, ask help from? And I'll give you like 5 names right off the bat, and I love that aspect about our community, is everyone's so eager to help everyone else. They really are. And most of the time, it's a one-on-one call with them. Like, I'll Discord call you, and just boom, 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 work through the problems. So I love that.
And that's a difference that I've noticed in this community, is everyone's willing to give a hand up and not a hand out.
Absolutely.
Like that's pretty awesome, because we know that if somebody gets the right amount of encouragement or just a little coaching,
Yep,
we can get them to where they can figure it out on their own.
100%.
Absolutely tear it up from there.
Yep, yep. So yeah, very exciting, you guys. Very exciting. I didn't know I had like, sometimes you as a person, as an individual, much less a content creator that holds responsibility of keeping a community going and running, and it's just like, who am I? What am I doing? Do I really have a presence here? Like, all this stuff. And then you strike it up with, one of your besties, and he's like, oh no, you have like all this worth, all this potential. Let's get the ball rolling. And now my thoughts can't stop. And that's this guy. I'm talking about this guy. And it's just like an incredible deal.
We had to literally get a notebook and pad and paper to fill up all these ideas, and that's what makes Bitsy so good on the follow through, is he's got it all written down. The pen remembers what the mind forgets. That's I need to get more paper, because I'm running out.
He's going through sheets, chat. He's going through sheets. I love that. So that would be the announcement side of things.
I want to hear that story you were talking about. So we were kind of digging into this whole community thing. We were like hamming it up, having a good laugh about that, and then we're like really thinking about it, and like, no one ever talks about the perks of being a gamer. Like, what perks does this lifestyle give you? And that story that you were sharing about UNM the other day. Do you mind digging in on that a little bit?
Yeah, what was it that we were saying? We were saying like there's actual like IRL perks to being a gamer, just not even a streamer, just a gamer, right? One of the things that I have found that just simply gaming, it like has given me are just like the most minute things that you take for granted, but they're actually worth something a little bit bigger. So like reaction times, right? If you guys have partook in any
of
like
G Fuel dry rip cult.
Whoa, that's a real one right there. I'll accept you any day. you dry ripping freaks. But yeah, if you guys have played COD or any racing game or anything of the sorts, how timing and reaction time, reflexes, like thinking of your next moves, what you're doing is all important, right? So I've been, on this journey, PC gaming for a couple years now and all this stuff. And this probably happened like 6 months ago or something. Emily and I were driving down the highway, and something freaky happened with the car in the I believe it was the middle lane. Something freaky. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally. But they decided to swerve into my lane. Well, I had space enough around me that I was able to do, and like this is gonna, I don't know how to exactly describe it, but I did like a weird like little maneuver. Like it's just out of reflex. I knew I had like space in front of me, behind me, like I wasn't gonna cause an accident, but I literally had to swerve from this guy, and he just was clueless on the road, like completely clueless. and it happened so fast, right, that I'm just like swerve, right, and recovered like really well. And Emily just looks at me. She's like, I don't know. I don't care what people say, but that was like your reflexes were on point. And I have a feeling like your reflexes from just like gaming were just like on par because you're used to seeing fast movement, fast reaction times, fast thinking. And I was just like, you know what? You're right. Because like I felt it and I knew what I had to do. Like part of it is just responsible driving. Another part of it is just being, kind of having your reflexes do the work for you. And I was just like, man, I would have never thought like that a couple years ago. And it is so like I really actually like took time to think about it, and I was like, way to go gaming, like way to go reflexes, because my God, you have to make split-second decisions, and you actually get like faster at making those decisions if you keep yourself trained up and all that stuff. So I mean, that's it's just a little story, and I find it funny looking back at it now, but it's actually true. It's also true that as a gamer, you'll misword the IRL things that you do. So I was like, oh, do I need to take 175 extract? And she looks at me, she's like, you mean exit? And I was like, yeah, the exit on the highway. Yeah, the extract, the exit. So now it is an ongoing joke with my wife that I call exits on the highway extracts. So, that is a thing,
that. That's so bitsy.
and, like once it's a thing. It plays with your mind. All right. That's why I got to keep myself sane with more
guys,
gaming.
This is tactical navigation. All right. We got to extract off the freeway.
What is this, Tarkov? I could just picture Ozzy. What is this?
Poor Bitsy, he needs something with 4-wheel drive, because if he needs
literally
to extract off the middle,
and we got the mountains right there, so I need it.
Mm-hmm.
I need a monster truck. So anyway, that was a fun time. That was good memories.
It's awesome, man. Like, but the gamer perspective, we're so used to like being able to take so many different sources of things going on. Like,
absolutely.
You don't realize how much your subconscious is like pulling in and holding on to and deciphering whether it's not, important information or not. Like for us, we've played first person shooters, so we're like threat identification and quick response. Like, so I'm sure you guys have all been walking through Walmart at an undesirable hour and you notice something and you're like, I should probably not go down that aisle. Chalk that one up to gamer perks as well, because you can identify dangerous situations and walk right out of it.
And I mean, Hazard, let's be real, I chalk mine up to spidey senses, because hello.
Yeah, right. You just got done with that playthrough, man. Like, obviously, it's fresh on the brain. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure that's the dry rips of G Fuel that's giving you that tingling.
Oh, goodness sakes. Yeah, the tingling is definitely from the G Fuel coffee mixture, and then the Red Bull, and then, anyway, what?
I got halfway home before I realized I brewed my coffee with Red Bull.
Okay. That's pain. That's so crazy. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it.
I don't think I could ever use that coffee pot again.
I don't blame you. It's a one and done type deal. Get a cheap Black & Decker and just boil yourself some Red Bull coffee. You're never going to regret it.
Oh God.
Oh
surely
my
somebody's done that before.
Oh, yeah. It's probably for someone from the gaming,
Those 24-hour streams are getting ridiculous, dude.
Literally. 22-hour, according to some streamers. I'll just drop that one.
So they don't like go the whole 24. They like cut it short.
Yeah, I'm making fun of Lion just because he did a 24-hour and he did like a 22-hour.
It's close enough. You round up, bro.
Oh my goodness, not Hazard getting on board with this idea.
Chug it.
A Lion. Love you, dude. But all right.
Listen, I'm dedicated to the grind, but not that much. I ran out of content, man. Oh
It
no.
is what it is. It's
Poor
gonna.
Lion's just sitting at his desktop, just
What
a,
did I
sh-
do to
a
deserve this?
shell of a man after
Yeah.
22 hours.
Yep.
He's like looking at his hand and he can see through it.
He
He's like,
bought he bought two
I have nothing
cases
left to
of
give.
Monster. Two cases of Monster.
Brother Bear.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
His 15-hour, 17-hour mark was buzzing, if you know what I mean.
Because it all hits at the same time.
Yeah.
And then hour 18, the diabetes all hits at once.
100%. 100%. What is our time? So we're just a little
Just
over an
over
hour.
an hour.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I know that we are almost done. Anything else you want to bring up from? Am I missing anything in our notes?
I think we hit on almost
we?
everything.
Okay.
One area I didn't get to like brush on a whole
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
was the new Call of Duty stuff. I know we had kind
Mm.
of talked about that as like a little
Oh,
teaser,
that's
maybe
right.
for a clip of the podcast. But you said you had a strategy for kind of getting past a lot of the grinding aspect that comes with the camos in the new game. So, do you mind covering a brief strategy for that real quick, and then
Yeah,
we can
for
end
all
it
of
out?
you, nerds out there. I feel like it's becoming very quickly widely known. Is if you don't actually want to grind, like do the hard grind, camo grind, gun leveling grind in Call of Duty, like I do, go play some zombies. All right, it's a quick little tip and trick. It will level up your guns faster than I could say cat. All right,
Ow.
and yeah, I that never happened. But yeah, that's something that I don't know how it was brought up in conversation, but I don't know how many of you know. I think the people that I've played with already know this, but
They're in
yeah,
the in
just
crowd. This is for
yeah, they're on
those
the
that
in
are
crowd, right?
just picking up the game. You've
Yeah,
never
if you're
played a
brand
Call of
new,
Duty before.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
I guess if you've
listen,
never played a Call of
after
Duty
about
before,
the 16th Call of Duty, we figured out the strategy.
right,
This is like
right.
how to put it together.
Go play some zombies, especially in MW3. They did such a cool job with the BR map, and just being in that map atmosphere. It's not that Battle Royale has not released yet on the new map with MW3, but zombies is on that map. So if you want to like just check out that new content, I mean, it's a really beautiful, plays well, and it's not a traditional zombies. It's a more of like an open world zombies type dealio. You have different objectives and different things, so you're not limited to a house. You're not limited to a certain map, except for the BR map, which is absolutely massive. So you could run around, you could get into vehicles, you could do all sorts of things.
They
So
got lots of inspiration from Escape on Tarkov. So
yeah.
you get to
you,
extract, keep your
you even
guns, keep
collect
loadouts.
loot. You even collect loot like your like battery cells and like wrenches and random shenanigans, and you're just like, why do I need this in my backpack? And then you extract and you're like, oh, okay, this counts for certain points. I don't know. I just kill the zombies, um but yeah, so
Spectacular.
that's if you're brand new to the game and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to level up guns quick, do that. All right. Yeah, that was a side note
Well,
that I was like, you know what, we should probably mention
come
that for the people that actually don't know.
that's kind of one of the perks of being a gamer is you get gamer tips, right?
Oh,
Like you got
100%.
inside informers that have already been through the process and we get to
Mm-hmm.
gleam off their
Mm-hmm.
experience and make our journey through the game more enjoyable and not so much of a literal grind.
Absolutely. 100%.
The only thing I like grinding about video games is my coffee.
A coffee. I knew that was going to be a coffee. I knew that was going to be a coffee comment. I had a feeling and I was going to respond and I just didn't because I was too slow. Gamer reflexes. Need more coffee. Dry rip some G Fuel, Bitsy. But yeah, as we're closing out, ladies and gentlemen, I always give you an opportunity to ask questions about the podcast, about what we've talked about today. Again, today was more of like a roadmap, a catch up with Bitsy and a friend because we've had Hazard. So any questions, anything that you guys want to talk, I'll actually read the comments now because I have not been keeping up with chat. So feel free Anything that's on your mind, anything that you'd like to ask me or Hazard. In that,
I like
as
the
we're closing.
DMC's comment up there earlier where he was like, not a gamer perk, but always awkward when saying bye to someone in real life or at work and you accidentally say GG's instead.
Oh my God, I
I
didn't
can
see
definitely
that.
see myself doing that.
Yeah. GG's. At
Bitsy
my
takes the wrong extract and he says GG's.
yeet. And we're in the middle of Kansas. We don't know where we are because they took the wrong extract. Yeah, I'm so tempted to. Okay, but
Lion being a real one right now.
yeah, but also Lion. I actually turned it off in the application because I'm a smart one. So, the
Oh,
rest of the
see,
commands work because I still needed my bot to work. But Lumia Stream flashbang effect is turned off at the moment, so you could try. But I thought about that, bro, because I was so red-eyed and bushy-tailed from waking up, and that's not a good thing because I was groggy. And
over
if
here
you,
asking Bitsy serious, like life-changing decision
yeah,
questions,
yep,
and he's over here getting flashbanged.
right,
You
right.
can't
I
even
mean,
see
am
him
I in
getting
a war
flashbanged.
zone or a
Like,
podcast? I don't even know. Like,
if you can't distinguish between the two, you're in the right place.
right, which is the place I was because yeah. Thoughts on any new streamer tech you've
Ooh,
seen?
I've got a good one. So I was
Yeah, go for it.
perusing through YouTube the other day, and
Uh-huh.
I saw a gal who's not using a mouse and keyboard. She's got an actual plugin that monitors her brain waves, and she's been able to map out using like some kind of algorithm response controller, like what movement or what direction she thinks in her brain that highlights on like basically an MRI, like what action needs to be taken and then mapped it to the button press on like a controller keyboard or whatever. And so she's playing like Elder Scrolls and the Dark Souls games just by using her thoughts and lighting up the brainwave patterns to make her character move and dodge and attack and stuff like this. And
I'm gonna
I
need
thought that
that
was pretty
video
cool.
posted in Discord because I have never seen anything like that. And Lion says that he's seen the same vid, so that is
Hmm.
crazy. That is great. Someone post the link in Discord under YouTube vids, please. Who?
And airing with some of your previous episodes, I know you've talked a little conspiracy theory on
Yes.
here,
Oh,
and
absolutely. Yeah, that's always welcome.
though
Always welcome.
though I'm super fascinated by the prospects, the
Mhm.
last thing I want to do is give them more data so they can read my mind without my
I
consent.
know.
So,
I know. I'm. It's kind of
even though
where.
it's cool, I'm not touching that thing with the 10-foot pole, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't really venture into that zone either. But thoughts on any new streamer tech. I'm gonna mention it. I've mentioned it before. I'm gonna mention it again because it's such a wonderful, beautiful piece of streamer tech. The Rodecaster Pro 2. The Rodecaster Pro 2. That is going to be a quad channel XLR microphone interface with I believe it's like a 6-inch touchscreen, voice changer effects. It's like $700-800. Okay, that's what I've been having on my wish list for a while now. It's going to be the new and improved user interface that I will be upgrading to. And
I
that's, I
just
mean, I
looked at
can't.
this thing.
Yeah.
I think you like it because of all the pretty buttons on it. Isn't that right?
Yes, but also the functionality just outperforms my Go XLR like tenfold. It really does. It handles dual PC beautifully. I would love to one day house like 2, 3, 4 people IRL sitting in my office, podcast sort of dealio. And
Yeah.
I would love to connect 4 XLR microphones into that biscuit and just go crazy ham. It looks beautiful.
It's
It's amazing.
hot. It's
Yeah.
hot. It's got two micro USBs on the back too for other sources or MIDI inputs.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man. It's got your studio speakers that you can plug into there,
Yep.
like 4 sets of headphones, so you could have your 4 different podcasters, each with their own individual headsets on,
Yep.
with the 4 XLRs. Yeah, dude, that's
Yeah.
a we're gonna have to
Um.
grow this community bigger and get more podcast episodes going,
Yeah.
so we can get more
Absolutely.
guests on.
I was
Like,
gonna say, and you know, my office like behind me is set up for that corner behind me. Um, you know, optimally, I would love to one day just be sitting back there with another IRL friend. Maybe you know when Hazard visits next, you know, sort of thing. We're gonna
let's
have
do it.
another podcast episode. But you know, two microphones and fully, you know, functioning just quality audio. So anyway, I know that I have talked about it before. It's just such a beautiful piece of tech, and that's always on my radar. As far as like something new and improved, there is the something new and different, I should say, not even improved because it's a version 1, but it's the Elgato teleprompter, and a lot of people are you know hyped about it and have their webcam pros and their you know webcams in general full on DSLRs all housed through the teleprompter and everything. The LCD screen, LED screen, I don't even know what it is, OLED screen. It can be used as I believe it's like an 11-inch monitor. So it's a whole separate monitor if you want it to. But you could like literally read chat as you're looking at your webcam, right? So it takes that functionality out of the chat housed in OBS. And when I'm looking at you guys into the camera, the teleprompter is literally right above it, and I'm reading your chat as I'm looking at you guys at the camera. And that is a beautiful functionality.
That thing looks dope, dude. I was just thinking about that. I was like trying to
Yeah.
maintain good eye contact this whole
Yeah.
episode, and I
Yeah.
was like, man, that thing would have been perfect. I could have just been reading and looking at
Oh,
everything on there as a,
100%.
a
Yeah.
monitor source.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's,
Mind blown, bro.
uh-huh.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I-
So there's that.
Okay, here's the real question. Who's going to be the dork that has 3 of those in series to
Oh,
make a wide angle lens?
oh my God. I don't know. Someone will do it. I think
Somebody's
it says
got to.
plays with his mouth because of a disability. I have seen that, DMC. I have seen that. But yeah, that's crazy. I have so much respect for gamers with disabilities, and like the things they accomplish is just absolutely incredible. I have seen Rocky. Yeah, he streams on Twitch. He has a brilliant community. I've seen his clips on TikTok as well, actually. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would like to close this wonderful, beautiful podcast. Episode 6, Dead Hazard in the building. I'm gonna do a shout out again. I don't know if we have I think Hysterica left, but let's do a shout out for Dead Hazard again. Hazard, you want to tell us you know anything else in closing about yourself? I know you don't stream a whole lot more, but you can be found on Twitch, right?
Yep, I'm on Twitch.
Okay.
In and out of the community here.
Yeah,
When I do
yeah,
have free time, I definitely like to
yeah,
pop in, catch games with everybody.
yeah.
Man, it's just been an absolute honor being a part of this podcast to engage with you guys this morning. It's been a fantastic way to kickstart the day. And I'm just super excited for where everybody's headed in this community and
Absolutely.
the cool things we've got looking forward to, like TwitchCon and the crawler retreat.
Yep.
Good fun stuff planned there. And I'm super excited for whenever we can meet up and do a podcast IRL at your new place up there.
Yes, yes, because you still have to check that out, the new crib.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least everything being completed. You helped us move in, but it's completed now. So
It's a little different when it's not all.
that's right.
boxed.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome.
But
Well, thank you again for letting me be a part of this today. I greatly appreciate it.
of course, it's been my pleasure. It's been my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe the link tree is pinned to the top of the chat room there. If you guys want to follow me on any of the social medias, please do so. I have content spread everywhere. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, of course, here, Twitch, and all that stuff. I also have affiliate links. If you guys are in the market for an amazing chair, Secret Lab got you back. They are one of the best investments that you could possibly make to save your back, your body, for if you sit for long periods of time. I'm also affiliated with High Star mouse pads. So if you guys want a really, really incredible, high quality, high end, very thick, very cushiony, but yeah, very precise mouse pad, High Star is what I use. I've been using them for about a year and a half. They are absolutely incredible, have beautiful, beautiful designs. Yeah, go check them out. They will be probably 10, 15, if not $20 cheaper than a lot of the other brands that I've seen on the market. There's been a lot of amazing reviews of people getting them and loving them, absolutely loving them. So, of just using my link and finding out about them. So, there's those two plugs there. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us for this podcast, episode 6. Like I said, I will try to make episode 7 here real soon. Not as long of a break as what we had starting this one back up. So much love, everyone. It was a pleasure seeing you guys today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.